Jeffrey, Sam, Xavier. So I'm picking on you, Victor, because I think you're the this isn't the first call you've been on,
Second.
but second. Okay. So remind me, what do you do? What's your industry? What kind of brought you to Boost Academy and Funnelbolt? Like what are you up to?
Oh, good question. We're in the real estate business.
Okay.
We're not tech folks, not at all. We were looking for a solution where we could actually provide online training as a way to drive traffic, home ownership, and selling a home or and create videos that can sell or purchase home, and then have that as a lead funnel into getting them to call us or for us to follow up. So we were looking for a system that can help us do that, as well as
Okay.
whenever we have leads, a way to manage our leads in a very systematic and automatic way. So
Okay.
I'm just looking for solutions in those areas.
Okay. Have you been able to navigate kind of through our system at all?
I think your system is very good. I think what would help is, I know that you had lowered the cost by maybe unbundling some of your services, but I feel that if you bundle it for someone like myself that really don't know technology or don't have the time to want to learn technology, I think a bundle package, a turnkey, would probably be a good way to unramp us really fast and right into, so we can get back to our primary business, if that makes
Yeah.
any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. No, that's something that we've actually been working on. So
Okay.
we've built out a few of the pipelines, a few of the campaigns, and basically what we want to do, and I think we're actually going to start in your niche, in the real estate niche.
Okay.
That's basically, create the system and hand the package to you so you can just run with it.
If you'd like to have a success story for your business, I'd love to be your beta site if you'd like.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let's connect after this call, and then we can, figure out kind of what all you could benefit from, and we'll see if we can
Thank you,
see if we
Jordan.
can help you out.
Okay,
So,
thanks, Jordan.
yeah, no problem. The who else we have here? Is this Amelia? Can you hear me? I don't see your camera, but I see you're here. We got Amelia, we got Jeffrey, Sam, Xavier. So what else? I guess if you guys have any questions on anything, drop your questions in the chat, and I will go through and answer each one specifically. But I do know, so Victor's in the real estate niche. I know that Jeffrey is in the real estate and mortgage niche, and I know Xavier is also in the mortgage niche, correct? Mortgage and real estate, right? Okay. So what, and then we got Stephanie. Stephanie just came in. Hi, Stephanie. If you have any questions, basically this time is for you. So Angel is going to be jumping on here in a little bit. He's probably on a call. This time, this hour is dedicated specifically for you guys. So if you have questions with regard to, whether it is just a simple software question, I'm having issues with this or that. If you are in any business niche and you are looking to either generate more sales, or looking for a marketing strategy, or there are holes in your boat that you are trying to plug, this time is for you. So we can answer those questions and move forward. So hopefully that kind of gives us an idea of why we're here. Jeffrey just said wasn't sure the topic of this call. So I jumped on. Is this separate from the accelerator? Yes, this is separate from the accelerator. So this is more general. The accelerator is more like laser focused, if that makes sense. So this is completely free. The accelerator is obviously, Jeffrey, it's a paid program where we've got lots of different modules in here, and the accelerator coaching that we do on Fridays is more laser targeted. So if that helps. Samir, we got Elwin coming in. Samir, would love to see the funnel builder in action, please. Could you be a little bit more specific? We have a lot of training videos on the funnel builder in the training section. So I guess I would ask, have you gotten into the training section, and have you been able to check that out, would be my question. Sam, how do we trigger a pop-up when someone lands on a landing page, or does it only apply? Okay, so that's a good question. And that would also answer the funnel builder question. So I will share my screen here quickly. And we're going to get rid of this first. And let me pull up my chat just so I don't lose you before we get started. All right.
Hello.
So what else we got in here? All right. All right. So what we're going to do, we'll go through the Stephanie, the new funnel hopper building form, the templates. Okay. All right. So we got 2 questions on forms. So we are going to go after that real quick. So number 1, the landing page builder forms. These are the forms within the landing page builder, and the forms within the landing page builder and the new funnel hopper forms, which I don't know if that's what we're going to end up calling these things. Don't ask me how we come up with names. It's just, it is what it is. The advantage of using these forms is the contact information goes directly into the CRM, and you can start a campaign right away without doing any zaps or moving anything out of the system. It's all within the system. So quickly on the landing page builder, I'm just going to open this up and see if I can grab a form. So a form on a button click is going to be within your pop-ups. So your pop-ups are down here, and you can select any pop-up. So we'll add this one. Okay, so now we are going to have a list of those pop-ups here. Now I've got to save this project. All right. So on click, we're going to have, if I right click, I can edit the link. And on the option, choose the link, you can have a pop-up right here. Okay, so this is going to have your pop-ups that you just selected down here in your pop-up tab. Okay, so now whenever I click this button, I hit apply, save. Now when I go to my preview, when I click this button, it should open the pop-up. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and your form settings are going to be the exact same that they are in every other form within the landing page builder. And the forms, you'll notice in the new funnel hopper form builder that we created, we coded some of these same forms in there. And the reason why we did that is they're simple, they're clean, they work. So that's what we have for now. Are we going to add a few forms, like a few different form templates to the selection? Probably, but not right now. So these work, so we can go through and kind of get used to these, and then after we get a few people using it and we have suggestions for new like templates, we can add those. So for the funnel hopper, this is separate from the landing page builder, and the purpose of this was to go around our landing page builder. So now you don't have to use our landing page builder to execute all of these campaigns and get contacts into our system. So if you have a WordPress site, or you have, you know, whatever landing page builder you might be using, if you have access to the header code, you can insert this code and it'll work. Okay. So it's actually the first time I've gone through this live with anybody. So I have a test here. I'm going to create a new form. We'll call this test 2. So the first thing, let me back up a little bit. The first thing is you are going to have, I would call this probably limited access to the analytics. Basically, the impressions is anytime this form is shown to anyone, that counts as an impression. Anytime somebody submits a form, that's counted as a conversion. So you can see your conversion percentage here. This is very simple, but it is, you know, should be explained. The publish toggle is on and off. If so, this is toggled on. That means when you insert the code, it's on. If you insert the code and that publish is off, it's not going to display. Okay, does that make sense? I mean, it's fairly simple, but we'll explain. So to create a form, we'll go test 2. And here we have a couple different options. The modal pop-up is what I just showed you in the landing page builder. It's going to display right in the center of the screen. And we just added an option with this. And to be honest, I personally have not gone through this and tested this, but it has been tested and it should work. The pop-up you can have timed to where if someone's on your page for a period of time, it'll just show up. You can have it programmed into a button. So when someone pushes a button, it'll show up, and you can have it set on exit. So there's different options of how you want this pop-up to show up, and that's for the modal pop-up. For the floating box pop-up, that comes up in the bottom left corner of your screen. So as, say, your home page displays, it's going to have this little pop-up display in the bottom right. And so as they're scrolling, it stays static in that same spot. Newsletter with Funnelbolt, if included on WordPress, could be used to send notifications and new content. Yeah, absolutely. You can do that. Yes. So the question was, is there a way to create a newsletter with Funnelbolt if included on WordPress could be used to send notifications on new content when posted on the WordPress site? 100%. Yes. And can you add address to the form? Yes, you can add an address to the form. I'll get into building the form here in a little bit. The new Funnelbolt building a form. Okay, just trying to keep up on these. Okay, so I'm going to go through. Oh, there's Angel. I'm going to go through and go through the modal pop-up, just kind of show you how this works. So we have the templates, and of course, these are basically the same templates. They're just different colors. You can change and customize these colors as much as you want. So we're just going to pick one of them. And here's where you can edit your form. So if you want to remove the phone number, just remove it. Or if you want to add whatever you want to it, you can add whatever you want to it. So you've got a text box, a multi-line text area. You've got radio selection. So if you want people to select specific things, if you want a checkbox, you can do that, or a drop down. So you've got all of those options. So we'll just do radio pop-up. So, and your custom fields as well. So you can edit your custom fields and add them if you want. So I'm going to use like credit score and what is your credit score? Option 1 is going to be, I don't even know, 550 to 650. We're going to go 650 to 750 and 750 plus. Save changes. Okay, so that's how that's going to show up. And if you want to change the text here, just click this little button and we're going to say submit. And this image can be changed or taken away. You can edit it right here. If you are going to edit the image, just keep in mind this is a very, 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 very small image. All right. So if you try to upload an image that's like, 5 megabytes or something like that, and it's massive, it's not going to look right. And then you're going to come to me and you're going to say, hey, this doesn't look right. And I'm going to tell you that's because it's a massive image. So you can change those. You're also going to have an image URL and you can upload whatever image you want if you want to apply an image. If you don't want to apply an image, delete it. You can change the text, There's your form. Okay. So this is how you create a simple form. If you want to do a survey form, you're going to click this little button and then that's going to get you into the flow. And every flow is going to be different. And the point of the flow is if they answer this way, so you're going to give them options. So basically in this case, a flow would be, okay, if your credit is 550 to 650, we're going to initiate a campaign that's going to send you to a credit repair person. Okay. If you're 650 to 750, 750 plus, I'm just throwing out examples. You can initiate, whatever buyer campaign you want to do with that, because that's a generally favorable credit scores. If you're below, send you to credit repair. So you're going to have those different campaigns already built in your campaign tab. So build out the campaigns that you want, and then based on the actions that are taken, you can tell them to execute. So I'm just going to go through the normal form here in a second. So I'm going to go to next. And what campaign do I want it to start when somebody submits this form? Just one campaign. Okay, so we're going to start this campaign. And here's where I can insert my Google Analytics tag and a Facebook tag. And based off of how I answer here, do I want the form to show up on a button click, after scroll on a page, or after so many seconds? After I select these things, it's going to give me my embed code right here. Okay, so this embed code is what you would put into a WordPress site or whatever system you're using, ClickFunnels, whatever. You would put this into the header. If you're going to use our landing page builder and you want it to trigger on button click, you just use this link. So our landing page builder is unique in that we own it, so therefore the code is different. Okay, so the embed code, I'm just going to copy this, and I want it to show up after 3 seconds. And I want to publish it. Copy the embed code. Save and close. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my landing page builder. Okay, and I'm going to pretend that this is any website. If I can insert it, copy paste in the header. Now I'm a little bit nervous because it might not work, but it should work. After 3 seconds, the pop-up should show up, and there it is. And the reason why it's formatted this way is because I haven't cleared my cache. So yours is going to show up just fine. So that is the funnel hopper basic form. Now I'm going to see if I can edit this from the template lead capture. Okay. So now I want to build a flow. Create a new flow. We'll call this flow 1. Okay, so it's working in the background. I'm going to edit the flow. All right. So now these forms are going to be different. You want to ask like one question, right? And what it's going to do is it'll take that answer, then it'll take you to the next question. Okay. So last time I did these, our server was not liking the speed on here. So I'm going to ask a question. What's your name? Full name? Good. Oh. Full name. Okay. Now we're going to ask, now we're going to go back to our credit score question. Okay. See how it creates different options here?
That's genius.
So this can be as complex as you want it. You can ask as many questions as you want. So you can, this is going to qualify your leads, is what I'm trying to say. And you can put this anywhere you want. So what's important to remember is you're going to want to start your campaigns. You're going to want to create your campaigns for these answers before you come in here and create this, because it's going to ask you what campaign, and then you're going to have to insert that campaign at this point. Okay. So at this point, I want to start a campaign. Actually, you know what? We're going to start a campaign.
Real quick, Jordan, let me just kind of jump in here real fast because this is freaking awesome. I just want to kind of give some ideas on how you can use this form in your business, or if you're wanting to do this for clients or whatever it is. So having this form, what this allows you to do is to segment, organize your traffic, right? Whereas before, without something like this that segments traffic, okay, all of it just kind of falls into one pile and you send it off hoping for the best, okay? Now, with this model, with this addition to Funnelbolt, what you're now able to do with your traffic is sort traffic out based on different things that the person submitted. So, for example, let's say, what did we build this out for, Jordan? What's the example you gave? Like credit repair business or something? Like, what is this? Just a random example.
Real estate, just
Real estate.
Generally real estate. Oh no, did I lose you guys? Did Angel go by?
Did I go by? Uh-oh.
Oh, he's here.
You're back.
Oh, I'm here. All right, cool. I don't know. I think my connection's going in now right now. Hopefully it's good. But let's say your mortgage, you know, you're doing real estate campaigns and you have clients in, let's say you have clients in 3 states, New York, California, and Nevada. Okay. Now let's just say, for example, before they get to the credit score question, you ask them, okay, well, what state are you in? And let's say they put California, because if you're driving traffic, let's say you're driving traffic for those 3 clients in the same campaign, okay, from ads, okay, and you're driving it all into one funnel, and then the question that's going to segment them to buyer A or buyer B or buyer C is the state question in this example. So whether they choose, if they choose California, and you have a buyer who's in California, okay, that only wants to deal with California people, then what you do is then you assign that campaign to trigger out to the buyer in California when someone hits the button, I'm in California, whatever the credit score, and bam, now you set that campaign to go out to the buyer in California. And the beauty of this is now you, rather than having to have 3 separate campaigns with 3 landing pages and 3 everything, you could just have 1 landing page and then set this up in the back end and drive everything to one funnel, and then have this back end separate the flow to your buyers. Okay. Just want to throw out there. Just wanted to throw that out there, that you're now able to do that with this system. And if you do it right, you can literally blow up your bank account. Okay. If doing it right, because you'd be able to drive all traffic into one place, save on cost per lead, right? Because you're now driving all it to one singular place. Okay. And then let the system do the segmentation. Let the system divide out who goes to where, what goes to what. If you got a buyer who says, if the California buyer says, hey, I don't want to take anyone who's 700 or who has 600 credit score below, great. Take all the people that click that button after clicking California and assign it to somebody else. You see what I mean? So it can get really granular. I don't want to dive too deep into this, but just want to give you guys an example of how we're going to be using it. Okay. And giving you the idea on how you guys can as well. That's just an advanced level of this, but for your regular campaigns, just look at this as a form and you can really qualify somebody based on how they answer and make those questions specific to that person. Because like Jordan said, if someone hits 550 or 650, the next question might be, oh, repairyourcredit.com. There it is right there. So you're not going to tell someone they're qualified if their credit score is 300. You see, so you don't want to.
Keep going. So does this make sense? Now you're back.
Oh
So,
gosh.
well, you said
Right, I'm gonna just stop talking. Hopefully, yeah, I'll just let you take the show this time.
Yeah. So does this make sense to everybody? Drop a 1 in the chat if this makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense and you have questions, just ask. Does the form capture all of the input? Yes. Good question. So that is going to. Okay. So that's a loaded answer. Is it going to collect the information? Yes, but it can't reference it until you get their email or a phone number. Okay. So be smart about. I can't hear you now. You're paused.
I said ask that first, right? Wouldn't that fix the issue?
Well, it depends. So the way we've done it in the past is that's like, hey, we gather all this information, and at the very end, it's like, hey, tell me where to send your offer. So it depends on your offer, and it depends on what you're doing. Most of the time, like if you're not leading them to a benefit or leading them to what they want, they may not give you that phone number. They may not give you the email.
I think the easiest way is have some type of value on the front end. Ask for name and email. That's it. Name, email for value. Then as they consume that value or they download that or whatever that thing is, okay, then you say, hey, you want to learn more, or you want to speak to our team, or you want a free strategy session, or you want something, you want to learn how, if you qualify, click button. And then that's when this pop-up pops up. Then it'll assign the questions that they've answered to that contact because you've already captured their name and email.
Yeah.
How about that, Jordan?
Fair.
Okay.
That's good.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense because who
Yeah.
the heck is going to answer questions? You don't know who the heck is answering the question. So that
Right.
makes total sense.
Yeah. So how you build this out, it's going to ask basically that first question first, right? It makes sense. And so to edit this stuff, you just click here, and it's going to go back to that flow, and then you can insert whatever flow you want to the form. But how that information is captured is going to be in your contacts. And keep in mind too, like as far as tagging and all that kind of stuff, your tagging is all done within the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So keep that in mind too. That's why it's important to build out your campaign. So here's where you're going to add your tags and all that stuff. All right.
Jordan, question.
Yeah.
Do they have to build out their custom fields
No.
within their contact before a form is built and submitted because where is it going to place that info?
Right. Yeah. So I think I covered that. Maybe it was before you got on, but
Okay. I was just making sure.
You can create the custom field. You can create the custom field
from the form?
When you're picking that drop down or you're entering that question, you can create the custom field right there.
Right there. Okay. All right. Perfect. Perfect. So
your
rather than having to take a step before getting there, it's all done simultaneously.
Yep. So
Perfect.
the information in your contacts is going to be right here. Actually, no, that takes you to deal stage. Where are we at here? Probably because I have just test information. There's all of your input.
Nice.
Okay, and so you've got your custom fields and how they answer those things. It's all in the contact detail.
And the beauty of this, guys, is that because it's capturing all that info, this is the equivalent of someone filling out like a Google form or something, right? And now you have all these extra fields of data because you're collecting that and it's pulling it in like this. You're now able to leverage that in all of your campaigns. Okay, whether it's a text message, an email, you can send the notifications to your client. You can send all the data fields to your client and say, hey, we got a new lead. Here's their credit score. Here's this. Here's the zip code. Here's their whatever, all the questions that you asked. And voila, you've got a much higher qualified lead, okay, that is much more invested, that's jumped through way more hoops than the average name, email, and phone number, which should substantially increase the quality of that lead as well as the show up rate. So if you guys aren't using quiz forms in your prospecting or in your lead gen forms, I would highly suggest and recommend that you do so you could sift through the tire kickers and talk to those that really truly care.
Yes. How do you add a question number 2 in the flow to appear for all answers of question 1? I'm not 100% sure I'm understanding, but basically,
should I explain?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I just created a flow following your steps. So the property type, first question is, hey, what's a property type? Single family, condo, townhome. Then the next question should be, what's a credit score? So the credit score question appears on the single family answer only. I don't know how to share a screenshot, but
I think you're gonna. I think, Jeffrey, what you have to do is duplicate for each one of them.
Yeah,
makes sense.
So
it's a separate flow for each. So when they hit single family, that flow is separate then.
But let's say I have like 7 or 8 questions. There's going to be like 1,000 items on here.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, buddy. Oh yeah.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. Okay. Jeffrey, let me just give you an idea here real fast, okay? I've built many of these, okay? And the time it takes to build the thing, it takes hours. I'm going to be straight up front with everyone watching this video replay. It doesn't matter. It's going to take time to do this right, okay? It is going to take time. But what is going to happen after you invest the time is that your lead gen ads are going to substantially surpass everyone else that's doing the same industry as you, because you have this level of sophistication in your back end, okay, that's going to substantially increase the leading quality of the leads coming through your pipeline, versus the other guy who's doing this without the quiz or without this flow is just collecting name, email, and phone number and sending everyone off to their client and hoping for the best. Okay, we're different here. Okay, so yes, Jeffrey, I've built funnels and flows, okay, that look, by the time it's done, I zoom out and this thing looks like, it doesn't even look like anything is connected. There's so many lines crisscrossing and connecting. And if this guy hits this, it goes here, and it's like 1,000 little lines connecting to little boxes, okay, by the end of it. So yes.
Did you guys build this thing? Is this custom built? You guys built it?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's why the UI still sucks.
So
we're being real. We're being realistic with you guys, right? I mean, we're transparent as water on these calls. Okay, so this is the reason why we do it, because as we're building it, okay, we're getting your feedback. Okay, you tell us the UI sucks. Okay, we're gonna do something about it. You know, we're not gonna make it.
So well, he disappeared again. I just want to offer a suggestion. So the first let's say first three answer options are single family, condo, and townhome. And then the next question is, what's your credit score? So instead of having to create that next question set 3 times, I see that you guys have a drag and drop function, which I don't know exactly how it works yet, but so right now, single family, if you click single family, the next thing that is asked is credit score. So it would be in this flow screen, if I could drag the condo button to the credit score and it just points and connects those 2 branches, it would make it a lot less messier. Because you don't always want to branch off to different questions. If they're the same question set, I think you should just be able to drag and drop it. I can maybe email you a screenshot or something.
Yeah,
you can share your screen, Jeffrey, by the way.
Can I? Oh, yeah.
Click the little green thing in the center. Jordan should give you permissions and you should be able to just share your screen. But I think I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. You're saying if you have a question that leads to the same singular next question, right? Be able to connect those together.
Yeah.
It's disabled screen share.
Oh. All right. Try now. So with anything, and this is why the Facebook group exists and why we do this and all this kind of stuff. Like, if you guys are using our system and there is legitimately something that we can improve on, like, by all means, like, please let us know. And when we hear what you have to say, it allows us to kind of, okay, we've got a lot of people that are suggesting the same thing. All right, so we're gonna make a fix.
You can see, right?
So,
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't want to have to hit plus here, and add this whole thing 3 more times. But
you want to drive those in condo, go directly to credit score.
Yeah, you have something like, it doesn't, I don't know how that thing works. I have little arrows shooting around all over the place, but if I could drag like this, if I could drag this condo to match there and drag this here and drag this here, that would make more sense to me, I think.
For sure. That would be more of a singular setup, right, Jeffrey, where you're not caring to segment those that click condo to someone different, right? So this is where you would just obviously care what kind of place they live in and then pick that. So yeah, I completely understand. I'm sure you can easily.
Yeah, I may segment here and put the fair to somewhere else. And then those might go down a different path later, but
on the same page. We're on the same page. I know exactly what you're looking to get done. So we'll look into that, and I think that's definitely a must-have. So
is this funnel questionnaire thing new? Because a couple of weeks ago, I don't recall it being there.
Yeah. So we've been working on it for probably a month or so, maybe a little more. It's one of those things. So development is always like, hey, this is what I'm looking to do. Like, how quick can we get this done? And we're like, no, we can do it in like 3 days. And then a month later, here we are.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I know.
that's basically how this has gone. So yes, this is literally like, we just pushed it to all your accounts today. So are you gonna find some things? Probably. Did we test it? Yeah. Did we test literally every functionality? Like, if you're building out a mile-long sequence, no. Like, I didn't do that. So it is what it is. We try the best we can. And the next question, so if a visitor is filling out a form but abandons before finishing all the questions, does Funnelbolt still capture the part that they filled out before leaving? I kind of answered this before, but the answer is yes and no. If they leave their email or their phone number, so we basically need like 2 reference points. So we need a name and we need a number or email, one of those 2. we can pull the information. So that is the intention. Obviously, we want them to get to completion, but it should catalog where you know the input data has stopped from, if that makes sense. Input all the contact, you know, just trying to answer all the questions. Are we able to delete a lead when you click on them in the deal stage? And last, can you show us where in Funnelbolt we can change the deal stage with the drop down? I saw it once and was having trouble locating it. Doc, can you, if you're still here, are you still here, Doc? Can you tell me what you're talking about?
Can you hear me?
I can barely hear you.
Oh, let me turn this up here. Is that better? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, how you guys
Yep.
doing?
Doing good.
Doing great, man.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I just meant like when you're in the deal stage, as opposed to going to the dashboard or the manage contacts, is there any way to delete them, like just out of the deal stage?
I don't think so, but that there's no reason why we couldn't add that in there.
Okay, and
It would make sense to add an option remove from deal stage.
okay, perfect. It would be pretty fast. And the last one was, I keep missing, where's the best way? Like, I know you can manually move the stages from left to right, but isn't there a way in the system where you can actually use a drop down to move them to the deal stage? I guess that's my last question.
Use a drop down to move
I,
them.
I saw it somewhere. Yeah, like,
No,
I
I
don't
think, Doc, I think you're getting confused is when you're setting up a campaign.
okay.
When you're setting up a campaign, you're basically, you know, in the drop down picking like the deal stage that you want that campaign to trigger for. You might be getting confused on that because the only way, there's two ways to move someone from one deal stage to the other. It's either manual or by Zapier based on an action that happens.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I saw it. I guess I was wrong. I just could have swore I saw it a different somewhere else in the dashboard or contacts, and you're able to drop it down, and it saw all my deal stages, and it put them in that deal stage. And I don't know. Maybe I was wrong.
Actually, Jordan, we could actually add that. So when
Right
you
here.
add a contact,
It's right here. It's in the contact.
oh, okay,
Okay, there it is right there. Okay.
there it is.
So
Okay.
you can do it. You can do it this way. And I was going to show you this drip campaign. This is something else that we've been working on as well. So within your contacts, you can now create lists and tags and all of that. So obviously those are like basic CRM things, but we've had a lot of people suggest that we add that. So we did that. So you've got your list and your tags. The only thing we haven't added yet, and I've told Deb we need to do this, but we haven't done it, is adding the contact to a list from this point right here. So we have the tags, but we don't have the list additions here. But in the drip campaign, if you want to send like a mass blast to whomever within your system or even outside your system, new drip campaign, let's say test 3, you're going to select your source. So from your contact list, from tags, or do you have a CSV that you want to upload? So if I hit contact list, it's going to ask me which list right here. So I can send directly to a list, or I can send directly to a tag and it'll drop down whatever tags I have available, or I can upload a CSV. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, definitely.
So I'm going to do to a list. I'll hit next. Then I'm going to select the campaign. So again, you've already built the campaign. And then you can tell it where to put that contact in your pipeline. Here. Next, do we want to add any tags as it executes or not? Do we want to remove any tags as it executes? And then how many of these do we want to run per day? So do we want to run this many per hour? I mean, I wouldn't recommend that, but you can do it.
Okay.
So if we want to run to a list 100 a minute, and we've got 10,000 on our list, and we want it to run at we want it to run at 230. Does 5-minute increments. As soon as I hit this, it's going to time it for 230, and then it's going to execute the campaign. And I haven't selected the list, so it's not going to matter.
This functionality, guys, as well is good for like broadcasts. So for example, if you have a list of customers or past customers, or let's say you get a new client and they have a list of of people who've been just sitting on the shelf or haven't bought for months. I mean, this kind of goes off by the terminology of reactivation campaigns. If you guys have ever heard of it, where you basically take someone's list that's just been sitting there and hasn't bought in a long time, and they just kind of forgot about them, because most people focus more on new people versus those who've already raised their hand and bought from them for whatever reason. So if you go, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Jordan, I saw Jordan talk and I didn't see anything come out of his mouth. Okay. So, you can get a client, right? And you ask them, hey, do you have a list of buyers or even non-buyers that have been just kind of sitting there? And people who have proper businesses have these lists, and say you grab that list from them, they send it to you via CSV, and then you can use the drip campaign function that Jordan just mentioned to create a reactivation campaign. And then anyone who responds goes into a campaign that then gets nurtured, and then you set appointments for them on their calendar. So the numbers are crazy, guys. So if anyone's not doing this, definitely think about how you can incorporate that into your offer, even if you don't charge for it. Like, if like your main core offer is like lead generation or even SEO or whatever that is, right? Where it's like you actually have labor there, throw in this reactivation campaign as a bonus, because doesn't cost you anything, right? The reason I'm telling you to throw it in as a bonus is, one, to deliver massive amounts of value. Okay. 2, you just don't know what you're going to get out of it. So you don't want to guarantee anything. It's just an added bonus. Let's see what happens. I mean, you're just sitting there collecting dust. Okay. And then bam, you might get, 5 to 10% of that list turn into appointments that pay a lot of money, depending on what niche you're in. If it's Botox, it might turn into a $3,000 or $5,000 sale. If it's lipo laser, or it's anything that's higher ticket, 5 or 10% on a list of 1,000 people, that's 5 people that paid $3 or $5 grand that you paid absolutely nothing. It took you download the list, you went into Funnelbolt, you upload the list, and then you wrote up a couple words in a campaign, you hit send, and out of that came out like 15 grand. See what I'm trying to say, guys? It doesn't take a lot of brain power to be productive. You just got to have the right systems in place, which is what Funnelbolt is for. Okay. And then just kind of plug all the pieces together and just know what you're capable of, and then just know what your market wants, and then just put that in front of them and just execute. Right. And this is what we're here for. We're here to help you execute if you're having trouble wrapping your head around all that stuff. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. The things me and Jordan talk about every single week, it's kind of random, because every time we jump on here, we're getting random questions. And so it's not very structured. And that's why for you guys that are starting out, or you may not have clients, or you may kind of be like, just trying to figure out, right? This is why it might be difficult for you to take action because we cover a lot of stuff which might not be relevant for you right now. See what I mean? So like, we're talking about like building quizzes and this and that. It's like, you shouldn't be focusing on any of that stuff unless you got clients. You see? So if you're in the process of building your business, if you're in the process of wrapping your head around all the things that me, Jordan, and Zach talk about on our trainings, on our free trainings, everything, right? Then I would consider, one, if you haven't already, jump into the Boost Accelerator, because things in there are a lot more organized and segmented by modules. And if you're struggling with prospecting, you click the prospecting module and you dive into that, and you're going to have strategies that come out of that. And then you can keep moving through the trainings that way, but it's sequential in order for a reason, versus this is kind of a free-for-all. So if you are serious about growing your business this year, okay, if you aren't yet at 6 figures with your business, whatever that is, it could be consulting, coaching, lead generation. It really doesn't matter. Okay. If you're not at 6 figures, then I highly recommend that you reach out to me or Jordan or Zach, and let's talk about it. Because whether the accelerator might be a better fit for you, or our personalized coaching program, they're based on where you're at and how serious you are about hitting your goals, and most importantly, how fast you want to hit it. Because if you got all the time in the world, okay, and you're sitting on a pile of cash, all right, hey, then you don't got too much, you don't have a rush. Okay, if you just hit the lottery and you're on these calls for whatever reason, okay, take it easy there, bucko. But if that's not you, all right, then you have to take this a little bit more seriously and figure out, like, okay, all the stuff in the training is great, but what I need right now is to get a raised hand, because I don't have anyone to even talk to about all of this cool stuff that we're doing here. So, avoid focusing on the things that can come later and focus on the thing today that's going to move the needle. Okay? Because there's only so much time you have until you run out of money. Okay? Because if no money's coming in, you don't work a job. I don't know how many people, let me actually get a pulse, because I've never asked this question. How many of you guys here in this chat right now, in this video, watching this live, drop a 1 if you are a full-time entrepreneur. Drop a 2 if you do this part-time and you're kind of figuring this out and you're trying to transition over to full-time. Okay, so we got full-time Doc, we got Xavier part-time, Victor full-time, Samir full-time, Sam part-time. Okay, we got Stephanie full-time. Okay, perfect. So those that are here full-time doing this full-time, okay, Jeffrey's part-time. All right. Those that are full-time, you guys don't have time. Okay. Every single second that ticks, that you're not doing something that's going to be moving the needle for your business, that's opportunity cost that you're never going to get back. Okay. So focus on the thing that's going to move the needle. All of this technical stuff and the quiz and this and that, that's all great. Get a client first. Get a client first that wants you to do all those, and then build it out in one day. But there's no, you don't even know what questions to put in the funnel if you don't even have a client that's telling you, hey, these are the questions that we want. You see what I mean? So you don't want to assume. Most people assume that they think what the market wants, but in reality, it's completely different. Ask the market what they were looking for and then build it. I mean, think about how we built this training, right? Or really not this training, the Boost Accelerator, right? The Boost Accelerator was built around your feedback, around the questions that you guys were asking. We built it and then people bought. Okay. So same concept with your business, guys. Never assume that you know what the market wants. Ask the market and then build it based on that. So you don't waste time building and then no one buys. That's the last thing you guys want to do. Imagine Jeffrey. Okay. Jeffrey, it makes me laugh when Jeffrey asked that question, because imagine Jeffrey, he's over here building out his whole thing. Okay. And imagine he builds this huge web that took him 3 days, 12-hour days to build, and then no one buys.
Yeah. I have a true, so this is case in point right here. I had somebody, I have a e-com client, which I have one, and that's not my niche. Somebody came to me, e-com, they have a product and they want me to build something for them that is going to allow the user to select, it was like 567 different combinations of one product. And they're like, hey, we want to implement this on our website because we want our users to pick whatever they want, color, design, feature, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. And my response to them was, you have like less than 1,000 people per month hitting your website. Why would you want to, I'll take your money, but why would you want to invest, it's going to take me how long to build this thing out, and then we're going to put it on your website and you have no idea if it's going to work.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a good idea, but that doesn't mean it's going to translate to cash. So anyway, coming from experience,
guys, okay, sell first, build later, always. Okay. You know how easy it is to pivot offers. Okay. When you're going out to market, you're saying, hey, this is my new program. This is what I'm doing. This is how I do it. Anyone interested? You got crickets. You talk to other people as well in the market and you tell them about your offer and they're just like, don't build it. Okay. Don't build it. Do not build it if the market is telling you like, it says okay, you know, versus, okay, the thing isn't built, but I go out to the market and I say, hey guys, okay, I'll make a post in Funnelbolt right now and be like, hey guys, this is what we're doing. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to give you this. We're going to give you that. And we're going to jam pack that thing based on the feedback of the market. If we did proper feedback research and looked at the trends and asked the right questions, okay, that product to market post should hit the wall and hit a home run if we hit the right chord, okay? If we didn't hit the right chord, we're going to have crickets. Okay, we're not going to get anyone posting, I'm interested or I'm in or let's do it. That sounds awesome. Ba, 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 right? Okay, but if that was the case, okay, then at the end of the day, I'm going to go ahead and build it. It's game on, rock and roll. If I got 4 or 5 people says, rock on, let's do it, listen, I'm in, we're going to work. Then, Jeffrey, put your web building pants on, okay? At that point, you build your web, because now you have an incentive to build this huge web that you think is going to cost a lot of time. Okay, but now you're getting paid at the end of that. You're going to plug in 5 clients into that web the second it's built. You see what I'm saying? So always put the product that you're going to put out to the market first before you build it. Unless you're finding someone who has the product market fit already, and you're going to position yourself as an extension of them to sell their thing to the market and have them fulfill it. And you just become, you know, their point of contact or the account manager for your client. The fulfillment team doesn't talk to your client at all. You see, that would be the alternative. Does anyone have any questions on that, by the way? Feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions or drop a 1 if that all made sense. And I'm just really good at explaining things. Sam's always, me and Sam, we're always on the same page. Nice, Xavier. Sweet, guys. So this is really what it all comes down to. And Sam, you said, if you build it, they will come. Good luck with that. Because that's not true at all. It's not true at all. It's literally saying, like, let me assume what the market wants. Let me build it. And then let me put it out to market. You know what's the problem with the market? Okay. The problem with the market is that the business owners fall in love with their product or service. And there's an issue there because it's not about the owner. It's about the other person. Okay. And when, let's say, and this works, this happens a lot in like product-based businesses. You have people who are trying to make money and they're like, maybe I could just reinvent the coffee cup. Okay. And I could tap into the coffee market. And guess what? If I could just sell 1 coffee cup per household and just took 0.5% of the market, okay, then at that point, what are we saying here? Right, I was just kidding. That was in a movie. Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know what movie you're talking about. It's a bad movie though. If that's the case, that's if that's the message it's pushing, don't watch it. Okay, go watch Glengarry or something or Wolf of Wall Street. Okay, so at the end of the day, you know, when you build something out like that, okay, you do not want to assume that the market will love your product. And what happens is a lot, you see this in Shark Tank all the time. Drop a 1 if you've watched Shark Tank before. Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure you guys are awake, okay? If you've watched Shark Tank, you've seen that some products that come to the tank, the people in the sharks are like, who the hell buys this thing? Like, has anyone even bought this thing? Right? And they're asking them, they're like, actually, we're still in development. You know, we're still actually figuring this out. We've spent $50,000 on development. And the sharks are looking at them like, who the hell is going to buy this thing? Why are you even building this thing? Who's going to buy it? Who's on your waiting list? And they're like, oh, well, we haven't gotten there yet. That's why we're here. Okay. So they have no business. They just probably burned $50,000 on their product development. And literally the sharks will tell them, stop what you're doing right now. and go figure something else out, because that product is not going to make any money. And their whole dreams get crushed. Okay? Because they assume that the market was going to love the thing that they love. Okay? They might be freaking, for whatever reason, obsessed with coffee cups. And they made their own and put their name on it and named it Super Cup or whatever. And they expect the market to love it because they love it. And they just burned 50K on bad love. Straight up. So do not do that. Okay. I want to give you guys an example, because to wrap your head around this, it doesn't matter.
Is he gone? He's gone again. So point being, it is always more beneficial to sell what you have before you build it. That's what we've done basically with everything that we've done in our business, and it gives you the cash flow to do the right things. So we are about to wrap up. This has gone over just a little bit. So before we go, I cut you off. You're talking too much.
No, my connection's messed up, so don't worry about it.
Does anyone else have any questions on anything that we can answer here quick, and then we will get going. As far as the software is concerned, check it out, and you know, we're not done with it. We're going to continue to improve things, so that's important to note as well. That was part of. And if you're having issues or you see room for improvement, you know, that's great. Our goal going forward, and I don't even know if I should say this here, but we are moving towards the normal software model, which is away from the lifetime stuff. So very soon, we are going to start gearing up for kind of taking our product to a real market. And if you guys are signed up as affiliates, you know, this is a good way, you know, if you're in the real estate niche or something like that, and you've got a product that's working, you can show it to your friends, and they're going to be like, hey, this is awesome. How can I get it? You send them a link. You make money every month without doing a thing. It helps you, it helps us, and that's how we all grow, and that's how we all make money. So when we are completely ready for that, I will show you exactly how to do that. It's going to be as simple as clicking a button and sharing a link. So our kind
We'll
of
even
our,
create a training
Yeah.
on how to sell it too.
Yep. Yeah, there will be a training for sure. And like our goal is to grow this as organically as possible. So the people that are in the system, using the system, we want to give you all the tools, you know, that you need to, number one, become successful, and number two, like, pass it on so that all your friends and family can be successful as well. No, this is not going to be a multi-level marketing kind of thing. It's just the way it works. If it's software that works and you can share it with a friend or coworker or colleague that could benefit from it, this is kind of how we build it. So we're going to be moving to that pretty soon. So with that, I will leave you. I don't see any more questions. We do this every Wednesday at 1:30 Eastern time, and I would love to see you here. If you're not in Boost Academy, most of you probably are. If you're not, jump in Boost Academy. We've got a lot of content in there, and we can keep the conversation going. So appreciate you guys, and I will see you on the next one.